אין לנו עדיין מסך.
מה?
אין לנו עדיין מסך.
רולי? אתה רוצה, לא צריך אלא share, תעשה share. Now there is noise from someone else. חזי, אצלך יש רעש?
לא, אני גם לא שומע רעש.
לא? אוקיי. בסדר. רולי, אתה יכול להוריד את זה טיפה? אוקיי, יופי. Excellent. So now I'll tell you what I see. Just 2 words about the conflict, and I'll hear what you say. There is Yitzchak wants to eat. If you go down, Pasuk Gimel, the 3rd verse 3, he says that you should take your his tools and vetzeh asadeh vetzud al itzayid. Now go down. Rolly? More. Okay. Now Rivka hears it, and Esau goes to the field to hunt. Now go down. More. Zeo, that's it. Pasuk Tet. Verse 9, he says, go to the sheep you have at home and take 2 sheep, 2 goats. And so the conflict that I see here, there is the husband that wants something from the field, from the outside, that Esau should prepare, and Rivka, that is the home person, she says, no, we are going to feed you, father, something from the home, not something from the field, something that we grow, and I'm going to cook it, and not Esau is going to cook it. Meaning the housewife will cook it, the mother will cook it, the woman will cook it, the house will cook it, and not someone that comes from the field. So maybe we spoke about family values, maybe this is part of the plot. There is a conflict between the field and the house and the home. And Yitzchak wants the outside, and he cannot go outside because he's old and he's blind. So he sends Esau outside to the field, and now Rivka says, no, the food that you'll get will be homemade food, good homemade food that, like I always make you. You're not going to get food from outside. You'll get the food that they always make you. The thing I'll make your father something that he likes and something that maybe that he's used to.
But isn't that also represented by the 2 brothers? I mean, Esau is always going out. He was a
field.
Yes, exactly. And Jacob always stayed at home. He was a mother's boy and so on. And ironically, he later on has to leave his home. And he had to flee and so on, and then Esau, the one who actually was going to the field and to the wilderness and so on, he stayed at the family's place.
Yes, it is very interesting, right? It's very ironic, and yes, what you say, of course, is right.
I mean, he has to go into a strange country to come home again. I mean, it's like, well, I don't know how to express this. He has to make this experience to get elsewhere, to be able to come home again.
Yes, and okay, this is very possible about what happens afterwards. And at the end, Jacob comes to Yaakov comes home, and Esau goes to another country and settles there. And Actually, we know now from geography that actually he goes to the desert, a place that is mostly desert.
But at least at this point, him going outside is faking it. He's going to have to actually do it later.
Yeah.
Who's making it?
Yaakov. Faking going outside.
What do you mean?
Meaning he's going to bring to Yitzchak something that is from the outside.
Instead going outside.
Instead of actually going outside.
To exile. זהו. It is very interesting, and can you hear me? You have noise?
Yes, I have noise.
I hear noise.
So do I.
Yes, 1 second. Okay, you still have noise?
No.
No, אוקיי. חזי, אני סגרתי לך את הרמקול, יש רעש מאצלך. אז כשתרצה לדבר, תרים את היד. תעשה ככה ואני אפתח לך את הרמקול. הכל... Anyway, and when Yaakov hesitates, and Yaakov says, you know, there is a problem, Esau is hairy, and I'm glad, I am bald, and so the problem, this is the problem. And the very interesting point is that he does not say that my father does not want homemade food. He wants food from outside. So he doesn't say my father will know that this is your food. He eats your food the whole time. And Rivka says, I know this is the food that your father likes, meaning she prepares it for him. So Yaakov does not say he doesn't want chicken soup. What he wants is, you know, some animal, some game animal from the wild, and this is what he wants to eat. No, this is not a problem. This problem does not come up at all. And I wonder why. You know, the whole story here, again, I'm trying to read it from family eye, to try to picture the home scene. It's all about food. It centers around, the food is mentioned here the whole time, and there is no one feels that the food is wrong. Mm-hmm. That the home, Hilda, you should know that what you serve every day or every week or every Shabbat, people know that. I want my grandmother's this or my wife's this or my mother's this. People know this thing.
I was actually thinking about that from the beginning, even when we had all this noise and it kept going on in my mind. There is a difference. I mean, they're going to have barbecue, right? That's definitely what they're going to have, some sort of a barbecue.
Right.
And I think I've read sometime, I certainly haven't tasted it, that there is a similarity between the taste of lamb.
This is the midrash. Hilda, this is a midrash. No.
That's where I got it. So, but anyway, since I haven't had that, I never ate anything that's like what you call tzvi. So I don't know if it's right or wrong, but the midrash did seem to notice what you said. So that's probably where I got it from. But
yes.
I'm not sure that it is about food here. I'm not so sure. That's why I was keeping quiet. I was trying to look back at the chapter, and I think you're right about family. It is about family, but it's not so much about food. And I'm actually following your lead from our last meeting. And you see, I'll tell you why I see it's about family. If you go to Pasuk Aleph, to the first verse, you have Esau bno hagadol, vayomer elav bni. And then you have the next time that someone is referring to someone, then it's Esau bno. And then again, it's Yaakov bna. Shamati et avicha, el Esav achicha. You have family all over the place. You don't have food so much. So I was actually thinking that when he talked to Esau, and yes, I know that there is a midrash about that, but I'm not following the midrash right now. I'm trying to follow the verse. When he says to Esau, um, just a minute, lost the verse.
רולי, אתה יכול להעלות את פסוק ג'?
ואתה שנא כליך
One second, you...
שדה וצודה ליצייד.
Right.
And he's using the same words by which the Tanakh is describing Esau 2 chapters earlier. Ish sadeh v'yodeh tzayid. He's using both words. So he's actually speaking to Esau in the sense, I would take it, and I'm trying to be without the midrash in front of me, but I'm trying to say that it's probably not a coincidence that he is speaking to Esau with the exact keywords that Esau was described these 2 chapters earlier. So it is about family. It is about Yitzchak trying to show to Esau that as you are, that's the way I want you to appear before me, as an ish sadeh and ish tzayid. And it isn't about the food. And I suppose that Rivka and Yaakov and everyone here knows that it isn't about the food. So whether the midrash is right that it has the same taste or it doesn't have the same taste, if it's a similar taste or whatever, I don't think it's about the food. The food is secondary here.
I don't know because I don't know if you can display it here. 1 second, I don't know how to share screen. No, okay. The thing is that it says that Yitzchak liked Esau. The reason that Yitzchak liked Esau, kitzayid befiv, because Esau was hunting. So Yitzchak liked this, that he goes outside and hunts.
Mm.
He likes it. So this is very important for Yitzchak, the outside. And Yitzchak goes outside. Yitzchak, when he meets Rivka, is outside. Yitzchak is an outside person. And so it's very interesting that Rivka, the manipulation is, I think, twofold. Even if you are right, the manipulation is twofold. One thing is that you say that he will bless Yaakov and not Esau, but the basic manipulation, the underlying manipulation, that the blessing will not come from the place of the field, the blessing will come on the background of the house. Meaning, imagine if Yitzchak says, if you look at verse 4, so it says, let's see even in German if he had it, das, you know, it's very interesting, the das is very interesting in verse 4. Mm-hmm. Because in Hebrew, it's mean ba'avur, meaning you'll make me food that I like, and you'll bring me and I'll eat, so that, the ba'avur means so that, right?
Right.
I think, Axel, that das is also so that.
Can be, yeah.
As a reason.
You can emphasize it in German and say so das. It's a similar ba'avur, but also das can express the so that.
Maybe
it includes the meaning, and in this case it definitely means so that.
Really? Okay, so he didn't try to weaken it. So the reason is, so there is a background. The background is the food, the foundation, there is a layer of the food. On the layer of the food, we have the layer of the blessing. And then Rivka says, no, this guy wants to go outside and to found his blessing on the level of outside, on the plane of the outside. No, the blessing will be founded on the food that I make. So I'll prepare food, the food will be homemade, and the blessing will come on top of the homemade food.
Why do you think it's so important?
I think it's important because it's very much like the concept of sacrifice. we see it's something, there is the food, so it's something like it has some sense of like worship. The food is festive. It's something that has a religious meaning.
I wouldn't call it worship. I would call it ceremonial.
Ceremonial, or not.
Who are you worshiping? You're not
With the
worshiping any
phrase-
specific guy.
What?
You're not worshiping anything or anyone specific. But it's
No, we are. It's part of. It's a religious. It seems like a religious. It's not ceremonial. It's part of a religious practice. He says, "I will bless you before God." Look at here.
Yeah,
He
but
says,
there's no mention of God.
"No, look farther down
Wait.
at verse 7 or 8. לאט. Okay, skipped it. Look at verse 7. When Rivka listens, you know that it's beautiful here because we see how something is said and how something is listened to. So when Rivka quotes it, so Rivka said, "Va'avarchecha lifnei Hashem lifnei moti." I'll bless you before God. So that's how Rivka hears it. And it's not falsehood. This is what she heard. Lifnei Hashem, the whole thing is religious. The whole thing is part of like sacrifice, of korban, of something that
Again, that's not a sacrifice. That's a ceremony.
לא חשוב. I don't say that Yitzchak is being worshipped. I say that this is part of...
Even God is not being worshipped here. This is something that will take place in the presence of God.
Okay. So
That's
you
a
feel God,
That is a
you
ceremony.
feel God, whatever. You feel God's presence, and the God presence will not come from the something that you hunted in the field. The God's presence will come from the food that I make. It will be my job to prepare the framework for God's presence, and not Esau's job. It will not come from the outside. It'll come from inside.
But again, I don't see why you think it's so important. I can't see it. I mean, it is so obvious that Rivka is bothered by the fact that Esau is going to be blessed, not over what he is going to be blessed. And you my expertise in preparing Shabbat food, and I think that she's going to bring the things that are near to her home. If she had venison near her home, she would use venison. Obviously, she would use venison because she wants him to succeed. She wants Yitzchak to think that this is Esau coming. So if she had venison at home, she'd use venison. There is no sign in the pasuk that she cares what he's going to eat. She is actually cajoling here Yaakov, making him feel that he has a chance because she says, "I'm going to prepare food that your father is going to like. He's going to enjoy. He's going to
he doesn't. He doesn't. She doesn't say that. Even in the German, it's not that he's going to like. There's gerne hat. I know that he likes it.
Of course, that he likes. Yeah, so he's going to be happy.
But interesting
Exactly.
is,
I know what he likes. I know what makes him happy. He's going to be happy. Don't worry.
But interesting is, you mentioned the 2 chapters earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know what Isaac, what Yitzchak likes? He likes the game of Esau.
Right.
I don't know if somewhere is mentioned that he likes the food of Rivka.
No, we don't. She knows. We don't.
Of course, she knows, obviously.
We don't.
But interesting is that the story doesn't tell us that he likes her food, but the story tells us that he likes Esau's food.
Right.
So that's another twist, another ironic twist. That she says, although we know that Yitzchak loves or likes the food that Esau is bringing or brings to him, she says, "I will prepare a meal that he likes." So
But I don't know again what the German would say, but in Hebrew it's equivocal that Yitzchak loves Esau's game because he eats it. It says that Vayehav Yitzchak et Esav kitzayit b'fiv. Yitzchak loved Esav because he had food, because he had game in his mouth. Whose mouth? Esav's mouth? Yitzchak's
No,
mouth?
Yitzchak's mouth. It makes no sense, Esav's mouth.
What's the German there?
And where? In chapter
That's
25?
in 25, 28.
Ja. Und Isaak hatte Esau lieb und aß gern von seinem Wildbret.
Yes. So that he ate.
Come again, please. My German isn't that happy. Please come again.
Und Isaak hatte Esau lieb und aß gern von seinem Wildbret.
Yeah, so he ate from his mouth. Yeah, I get it.
He loved to eat from his.
That's
Yeah, I
the
got it.
Onkelos. That's the old. Every single translation translates like this. Me onklus vamata. From onklus downwards. That's what they translate. And the people that
Okay.
some of the mefarshim that try to say something else do it because it's not nice to say about Yitzchak that he liked Esav because he liked the food that he prepared. But the content is definitely that, and I don't see why not. A person that likes to be outside likes to eat game. He likes to feel free. He doesn't like a house. And if you go down, Wally, please go down a little
Then,
bit.
just a moment, there's this contradiction that now he's blind and he can't go out anymore. So his only avenue to the outside is through this food.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So go down now. Could you go to the blessing for a second? I want to see the two blessings, the blessing to Yitzchak, to Yaakov, and the blessing to Esav. Habitzua. Okay. Okay, go down, down, down. Down. A little bit, no, go up a little bit. Up. 1 second. Look at verse 19. Verse 19 is that he said that is something, kumna shva ve'ochla mitzedi. Wilder. So meaning that he's something that I hunted. Meaning, what does Yaakov say? I bring you something that was hunted. Not your mother's favorite pudding, or barbecue, but something that was hunted. So go down, and he says because
What's the German word here for tzedi? Wildbret,
Wildbret.
which is
Wildbret. Game.
why is it in capital? Why is it capital?
that's how the Germans do it.
That's a philosophical question. No, we have it's in capital because it's a
noun.
Noun, yes, exactly.
It's a noun. Yes. Okay. Go down. Go down, 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 more down. Odd. Again, up. No. 25. The same thing. Ve'ochla mitzed b'ni. So again, then Wilbret, and go down. Up. Kaf Zayin. Okay, 27. Now look how beautiful it is. You see, Hilda. ויגש, וישק לו, וירח את ריח בגדיו, ויברכהו ויאמר, ראה ריח בני, כריח שדה אשר ברכו השם. So what does Yitzchak have in his mind? What does he want? He wants the שדה אשר ברכו השם. This field is, what he wants to go, he sees my son smells from outside. And now, but go down a little bit, kafchet, kaftet, the blessing itself. Okay. The blessing itself is really, now I think that the food influences the blessing. Because he says the blessing, page 20, verse 28, is a blessing for someone that does agriculture, not someone that is hunting. the hunter does not need tal hashamayim v'shmanei haaretz. He doesn't need rain or tau, or he needs animals. And v'rov dagan v'tirosh, this, you are not going to be a hunter, you are going to be a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
And now go down. Okay, 29 is also a blessing for a home person. But look how he blesses Esau. Go down, Rolly, to the blessing of Esau.
You mean when he knows that it's Esau?
Yes, go down. The second
He
blessing.
still gives him Tagan v'tirosh. No. Okay.
No. He said,
okay.
I gave to Yaakov. Right.
Yeah, I noticed.
And he tells him, I don't, it doesn't appear here, but he says, you live on your sword.
Yeah.
Where do you live on your sword? A farmer does not live on his sword. A farmer uses the sword to defend himself. He does not live on the sword. Who lives on the sword? A fighter. So I think that the blessing to Yaakov really, if I think that the food breeds the blessing, that the food influences somehow the subconscious of the blessing. No, it's not here. It doesn't appear here. זה לא זה, זה לפני כן. Anyway, so he blessed Yaakov, a blessing that comes from homemade food. He'll say, you'll be a happy homeowner, a happy home dweller, someone that lives domestic life. This is the way I know. I don't know if you see it, but I think it's a very interesting conflict between the Yaakov that likes the outside, Yitzchak, one second, Yitzchak that loves the Yitzchak loves the outside, Rivka that is the housewife, and she favors Yaakov, and she manipulates not only who will get the bracha, but how it will be done. What will be the essence of the bracha? What will be the blessing like? Chezi.
Do you think that when Yaakov blessed Esau, he knows?
יותר נוח לך, דבר עברית.
No, it's okay. Do you think when Yaakov, Yitzchak blessed Esau, he knows that it's Esau or it's Yaakov?
When he blessed Esau, he knew it's Esau.
So why he given this? לפי מה שאתה אומר, אז זה אחת מהשתיים, או שיעקב, או שיצחק מבין בשלב הזה שמישהו עומד מולו זה בעצם יעקב, או שהוא חשב שהוא יכול לתת גם את הברכה הזאת לעשו איש השדה.
Okay, you understood what Chezi is asking? Axel, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll answer. He thought it's Esau, but I think that someone blesses somebody after eating, after a ceremony, after something like, it puts you in a mind, in a frame of mind. It's like framing in psychology. The thing is what's good, what's wonderful. So before that, Yitzchak think that the wonderful thing, what marks the beautiful thing? It's a field. When Yitzchak eats Rivka's food, maybe his attitude changes. And he thinks, what's the wonderful thing? All of a sudden, that the wonderful thing is not the field. The wonderful thing is a farmer to have plenty, to a man of peace, not someone in the field.
That makes you assume that he never ate Rivka's food. That's the first time he actually eats it, and he finds out that it's just as good as game. Well, that doesn't make much sense, does it? I was actually thinking that it has more to do with Cain and Hevel. I mean, we have brother after brother trying to come to some sort of a brotherhood, right? So Cain and Hevel are the first brothers on earth. And they're not a very happy couple. And there, actually, both of them are outside, but Hevel is the person that comes with the tzon, with the, help me with the word, with the sheep, and it's Cain who is the agricultural person. they are not happy together. We don't know, if we don't use the midrash, we don't know why they're not happy together. We don't know what the war is about, but we know that there is some sort of a war about. What if what Yitzchak is trying to do, speaking to Esau as the person of gain, he is trying to give him Dagan and Tirosh as well. So he is maybe, I'm actually trying to follow your lead into this thing of inside, outside, agriculture, and the freedom of the hunter. What if he is actually doing that because he is trying, if you like, to tame him, if you like, to bring peace on earth between the agriculture and the gaming person and the hunters, not to get to the point of Esau and of Cain and Hevel? What if it's that way? Because he did eat Rivka's food before. So unless you go for magic, I don't think
I don't go for magic.
It's a nice food.
I don't go for magic and not for mystics. I think it's much simpler. It depends what you expect. You feel like blessing, your mood, you have a certain mood. Without mystics, Kahneman brings a research, the judges before lunch are much more severe than judges after lunch.
That's because they're happy.
Yes, so he's in a mood like this, and he has Rivka's food, so maybe he thinks, domestic life is not so terrible after all.
I think there's very clearly a sense that Yitzchak is giving the bracha intuitively, that he's not consciously aware of who he's giving the bracha to or the content of the bracha. Right, there's something prophetic about it. There's something as though there's an outside force sort of taking control of his body or his mouth and giving the bracha. Because when Esau comes back, he says, "Mi efohu atzad sayid," right? That there was something. There was something there in the person that was standing before him that he saw as worthy of blessing without quite understanding what it was. The Midrash picks up on that too, and I don't want to drag Midrash into a discussion of what is otherwise pshat, but I think the Midrash is actually picking up here on something that is pshat. I also just on the Cain and Hevel point, the Midrash again, not to bring.
No, we are not allowed.
We're not allowed?
We're not allowed to use the authority of the Midrash. If you want to say anything...
No, the inside of the Midrash, that the begadim chamudim, that the beautiful clothes of, or the whatever, I don't know what the translation is, and even in English, much less in German, that Rivka dresses Esau in are somehow go back to, or are somehow descended from the clothes that God gives Adam and Chava when they leave Eden. So there is this, when you talk about a connection to Cain, when Hill talks about a connection to Cain and Hevel, there is the Midrash emphasizes that connection also.
Yes, but okay, that's beside the point.
Yeah, totally a side point.
על הבגדים האלה מעניין לראות שזה כן מסתדר עם התזה של הרב שבתאי, שרבקה היא אשת הבית, מה שרבקה כן מוכנה לקחת מעשיו, זה את הבגדים שהיא שומרת אצלה בבית, את בגדי החמודות. היא לא מקבלת עשיו כמו שהוא, היא מקבלת עשיו עם תוספת, עם בגדים, וזה מה שיש לה בבית.
אבל הבגדים יש ריח שדה.
נכון.
He's actually taking the smell of the field, the smell of the outside.
אבל מי שעושה את ההשוואה הזאת בין עשיו והשדה, והבגדים זה יצחק, אבל זה בגלל שיצחק הוא איש שדה, ויצא יצחק לסוח בשדה.
Right, and you say that he smells the clothes. If you look a little bit up, you see he smells, וירח את ריח בגדיו. He smells the clothes.
Doesn't know that? She doesn't know that they have a smell of the outside?
היא יודעת, לכן היא משתמשת בזה. אבל אני אומר, הדבר היחיד שהיא מוכנה, כשהרב שבתאי אמר שרבקה היא אשת הבית, אז אני ישר נזכרתי בפסוק, החמודות אשר איתה בבית. היא באמת מקבלת בית, והיא לוקחת משהו מעשיו בבית. לבגד יש שתי משמעויות, הבגד הוא גם מכסה על הפנימיות, הוא לא רק מייצג את איפה שהאדם נמצא בו.
Okay.
And you know something very interesting. I don't think that, if you know, go up a little bit, Rolly. Now, the point that Chezi made is beautiful. Go up a little bit. It's really amazing. Go up, 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 more up. You discovered, I think, something beautiful. Up, more up a little bit. No, more up. When she takes the clothes, I think it's verse 10 or something like this. 9 or 10.
15.
Here, up. Down
15.
and here. Exactly. Wonderful. Look at this. ותיקח רבקה את בגדי עשיו בנה הגדול, החמודות אשר איתה בבית. So it was not the hunting clothes, probably, because it was in the house. Esau went hunting. So this was his party. His how you say, you don't call it jacket and a tie. How you call it? I forgot. This is the official clothes for an official ceremony. And how come they smelled from the field? They should not have smelled from the field. They should smell from the house. They were in the house. Clothes absorb the smell of the environment. So
don't absorb the smell of the people who wear them.
Right. Could be. This could be. It's true. But I think that these clothes did not smell from the field. When Yitzchak thought, this is what Daniel says, when Yitzchak thought about something that is pleasant, it was associated with him with the field. Something wonderful must be the field. He's very happy. So happiness means field.
Yeah, but field.
I'll give you an example. All my life, vacation means the Kinneret. I was in Tveria, it was 42, 43, 44 degrees Celsius, centigrade. Still, when I saw the Kinneret, it meant vacation for me. Wonderful pleasure, relaxation. So I don't know, maybe for Yitzchak, the field meant pleasure, pension, no limits. The world is not closed in.
But field is not wilderness, right? I mean, if you want to be a farmer and to want to grow your oat or whatever, or your fruit, you need a field. So
this is not called field. Let's see how Luther translates field, because field in the Tanakh definitely is the wilderness. When Shlomo HaMelech talks about the field that we call field now, he says, Melech lesadeh ne'evad, cultured field. Melech lesadeh ne'evad.
Okay, it's
ne'evad, sadeh that is cultured. Mm-hmm. But sadeh stam, sadeh means outside. When Cain tells Abel, netzeh hasadeh, means, no, it doesn't say, this is the translation. It's not Targum HaShivim. It doesn't say in the Tanakh. I don't know. It's outside, not in the field, not where they grew wheat. Why should he go there?
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes you understand why he liked Esau.
And Esau hunts in the field. Esau does not hunt in the
field is the wilderness, not the cultivated land.
Okay, I got it. The German translation is a little bit difficult. If you have Feld, that means the agricultural or the agricultured area. So it's not wilderness.
Yeah, that's also the modern Hebrew, but it's not.
Rolly, could you? Do we have the Rivka Ohevet et Yaakov? We have it in our sources. If not, we look it up in the internet. Vayi Esav ish yodea tzayit ish sadeh. Does it translate a man of the field?
It does in English.
What?
It does in English. The man of the field.
Yes, but I don't know in ancient English what field meant.
That's not ancient English.
What? King
That's
James?
early
Yes.
modern.
Okay, but it's much older than Luther's translation.
In what way is it older?
Years.
What is older?
No.
King James
The
is
English
not
translation is not older than
older.
Luther.
King James is 100 years later.
No, but it's based on the Latin. They did it from the Latin. It's much older on the Vulgata. Ain't it?
Well,
Okay.
so did Luther.
Okay, I'll try if I get the Vulgata, and then maybe we see what is used in Latin.
I think that it came from the Latin, and the question is what really it means.
Look, even
יש וולגטה באינטרנט. Oh, you have it.
I'm too slow.
אז אתה יודע את הפרק ואת הפסוק.
כ"ה כ"ח.
25, אוקיי, קפה.
25-28.
קפה, רולי. לא.
28.
נדמה לי שבאתר הזה התרגום הוא אנגלית ישירה, ולא האנגלית של הוולגטה.
לא, זה הוולגטה, זה לטין.
זה המורכב.
זה נהיה אנגלית, כי גוגל תרגם את הלטינית לאנגלית.
It has to be 27. The field at homo agricola. Agricola is
okay.
peasant.
There.
Right.
So
this is unbelievably wrong.
But still, that actually goes perfect with the Dagan v'Tirosh. Perfect.
Yes, but it's not true. What can
Yitzhak did read the Vulgata. Yitzhak probably read the Vulgata.
Either that, or someone knew the future and translated. But Homo agricole, it's so not true, because then Esau did not have to hunt. Farmers don't have to hunt. Very interesting.
Maybe they have to hunt the animals who want to steal their food on the fields.
So they guard it, but they guard the place, but it's not called hunting. Hunting means you stalk an animal.
Yeah, of course. I was just kidding.
Look at the plentiful field here. When he says Recha Sadeh, is Benedictit Dominus. Agricui כאילו Benedictit Dominus.
Odo agri. Odo agri is the smell of the field.
That God bless.
Yes.
So agri is just field. It doesn't actually have to be agriculture.
No. Agar is field.
The agrophobia is the fear of outside.
No, that's agoraphobia. That's something else. Agora means marketplace. Agoraphobia is the fear of the marketplace. That's a different thing.
What?
And in any case, this is modern language. And it's modern language, so you can use the word from Latin and give it a different meaning. That doesn't help. But if agri is just field, then agri is field. So if he is the agricola, whatever, it doesn't actually have to mean agriculture.
Can I refocus this for a second? What is the significance of the field? Why is Yitzchak so focused on the field?
Well, that's what the Rav Shabtai started our discussion today, because he thought that this story is partially or perhaps mainly about the war between the field and the house, between
okay, slicha. Sorry, I missed that.
So Rivka is the woman of the house, and Yitzchak is the man of the outside. And Rivka decides to set future history that the house will be in the center and not the outside. And Esau is the man of the outdoors, and Yaakov is the man of the indoors. So she actually changes history. She says that the main thing will be the indoors and not the outdoors. But if they allowed, people allow themselves here to quote Midrashim. I really don't like to do it on the authority of the Midrash, but the Midrash points out something, that Yitzchak goes out in the field. This we said when he meets Rivka. And Yaakov, when he sleeps and he has the experience of God, he sees this is the house of God. these words are mentioned. This you cannot. This is undeniable. So Yaakov loves the worlds around him, and Yitzchak is an open space person. This is the feeling that I get from here.
I'm doing some digging on etymology here, and all the languages that make use of something that leads to agro, they lead back to some Sanskrit and stuff like that, where it is actually what Rav Shabtai is saying.
What?
That the basic letter combinations of agro, akar, ajras, and stuff like that, the original, the basic meaning was plain open country.
I think so, because the word agriculture in English and in Latin is agriculture. It's melech v'sadeh ne'ev.
Agro, and then you cultivate it. Yeah.
Yes, and culture in Latin means working the field. Developing the field.
Yeah, well, you actually also have it when a woman is being raped. There is the difference between the city and the sadeh. So the sadeh is the opposite of the city.
Okay.
ה-70 גם מבחין בין השדה שלנו, שהוא שולח אותו אליו יצחק לצובסייד, זה השדה של פדיון, של שטח פתוח, והשדה של ויהי עשיו איש את זה הציד איש שדה, זה השדה של הידאוס, השדה של שהאידיוטים נמצאים בו, השטח של יד הבית, אני חושב אותו.
עוד פעם, לא הבנתי.
יש שתי מילים ביוונית לשדה. יש הדיוס, שזה המקור למילה הדיוט, אנשי השדה, אנשי הכפר, ויש פיידון, שזה המדבר.
כן, זה המגרש ליד הבית.
הערבה של היום, אני חושב.
כן.
ויצחק איש יודע יצא את איש שדה, הוא מתרגם כהדיוס, שדה כהדיוס, ואת הצנע השדה, שיצחק שולח את עשיו עכשיו, בפרק שלנו, הוא מתרגם כפיידיון, שזה יותר תרגום של ערבה.
החוצה, זה מאוד מעניין, very interesting. It's very interesting. And
so getting back to the blessing, again, you mentioned first, Rav Shabtai, that Yitzchak blessed Jacob, thinking he is Esau, and giving him blessing of a farmer.
Right.
Maybe this is what he knew from himself, and maybe this is what he wanted his son to become. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he wanted to have his son to have wonderful future. The question is, when you get an inspiration of a wonderful thing, how do you express it? How do you mark it? So you can mark it as the wonderful outside that has no limits, or you can say blessed field that it bears wonderful fruit.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on the mood that you are in the second. How do you view what thing means wonderful thing for you?
Yeah.
Daniel, that's your area. I'm simply stealing from your area. What do you think?
I'm still processing. Say again.
What does it? I'll tell you. When I hear the word field or sadeh in Hebrew, cultured field, what does it mean for you? Breaking you back, working, toiling the whole time. You don't have freedom. You have the life of a peasant. This means working in the field, or working in the field means something wonderful. You create your own food. You are blessed by God. Okay? And the same thing the outside. What does wilderness mean for you? Means no limit freedom, or they mean life without, you don't settle any place. You don't have any limit. You're a wild, you're a barbarian.
Okay.
So I think the words are not important. The importance is what they mark. What
don't-
refer to?
What is the association that a person has with a particular experience?
And especially with Yaakov, in the blessing, what the words
And the
mean.
space, right, with the space. The question then is, if we can't say that sadeh and the agriculture versus the outdoors is positive or negative, what does it symbolize for Yitzchak himself? Meaning, I don't think we have enough to say whether Yitzchak has any particular attitude towards agriculture versus hunting. The only thing we know about Yitzchak and the Sadeh is that he goes out to pray in the Sadeh, that maybe he sees the Sadeh as a place of divine inspiration or of limitlessness, of openness in terms of his own spiritual life, his own theological perspective, which I think is something that we get from Abraham also. Abraham is very much open, very much limitless. Abraham doesn't like boundaries. Abraham doesn't like hard choices. Sarah and Rivka are the ones who make the hard choices, which could be symbolized by the bite, which, when you have a closed space, you have to choose what you put in the space and what you leave out, and which people you leave in the family and which people you don't.
But I think we do know a little bit more than we noticed so far what Yitzchak wanted to say, or what Yitzchak's associations are, or whatever. Because when Esau comes back and he says, look, you didn't bless me. You blessed someone else. Now, can't you bless me? Do you have only one blessing? And according to Rav Shabtai, he actually should have another blessing. He actually should have the real blessing, the blessing of the outside, the blessing of the limitless. And he says, no, he says he is completely embarrassed, and he says, what can I say? I gave to your brother everything there is to give. That's what he says is an answer. Oh yes, that's what he first says. He says, "Vir samti lecha, et kol echad natati lo la'avadim, dagan letirosh smachtit, ulecha efa ba'asem li." What do I have left? I gave him everything. I gave him power. I gave him righteousness. What am I going to do with you, poor son of mine?
No, I'm sorry. He doesn't say riches. He says,
no, he says, "Avadim, dagan v'tirosh."
There's
There's nothing left. Haven't got anything left to give you. And then he cries out, and then his father says, okay, you can do whatever you do, and you will do it very well. That's all he gives him.
So you see just what I said, that now Yitzchak said the best thing in the world. Now in my association, the best thing in the world is to have dagan v'tirosh, to grow wheat and to make wine, not to hunt animals. So and then when Esau cries, he tells Esau, okay, you can go and be a hunter. Because you hunt with a sword. You see when Yitzchak
tells where is the blessing? He says, whatever you do, you'll do best.
No, sorry. He says, Al charbecha tichyeh.
Right.
You live on your sword.
Which you do. Which you already do.
We can do it. He can be in the stock exchange, but he tells him you live on your sword. Who lives on his sword? What do you need a sword for?
Well, that's what he has been doing all his life. And he says, whatever you've been doing, you'll be doing.
Because you're hunting with your sword. If you see when Yitzchak, the sword, we're not talking about fighting, wars. When Yitzchak tells Esau to go hunt, he says, take your sword.
Yeah.
Because mean you'll be a hunter.
So, as you see, you don't see any limitlessness here. Nothing. He doesn't have another version. It's not as though he has one version that comes out of his...
You are right, because the world changed. Now the world changed. What Rivka destroyed. She did a terrible thing. Rivka changed the world.
Right. That's the point. In other words, if initially Yitzchak perceives, we don't know what Yitzchak intended to do, whether he intended to give the bracha only to Esau or to something to Esau and then to Yaakov. But it's clear that Rivka has done something that Yitzchak did not expect, and that changes the rules of the game. So, when I say that Yitzchak perceives the Sadeh as limitless and that he doesn't like hard choices, that may or may not reflect what he initially intended to do when he wanted to give the bracha to Esau. But Rivka has definitely cast a decisive die here and done something that Yitzchak did not expect and forced him to make a choice that he was not initially intending to make.
Axel, you remember Ezer Kenegdo, you mentioned that Ezer is not Hilfe? Yes, you remember that?
Is Hilfe.
Yes, but that's a translation.
Yeah,
but you mentioned that Hilf means below you. And
no. That was how Luther translates in chapter 2 in Genesis.
Right.
But I opposed Luther's translation and said Ezer.
Right. This is what you remarked. That Ezer, and I said that whenever we said Hashem, God is our help. It's not the matter that we are the masters of God, of course.
Of course not.
Of course not. So God is our master and he helps us. Now look what Rivka does. Yitzchak has an idea and Rivka changes the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rivka is really taking into her hands the ability and the responsibility to change the attitude. I think it's very remarkable.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you is one more thing, either on the background of what I told you, or on another background, or you decide. If I think that the blessing is heavenly, like Rivka said, I'll bless you before God,
mm-hmm.
and then Rivka does something of cheating. What does it mean? It's very interesting. You said that he'll bless you before God, and you cheat. How does it go together? If you understand that something you do before God has to be honest, no? Otherwise, it won't work.
I don't know if it's a blessing of God. It works. And doesn't depend on human conditions or human behavior, right? I mean, this is maybe the promise of the blessing, that it does not depend on or its validity doesn't depend on how we behave. Although Rivka manipulated the whole story, the blessing is still valid.
Yes, but I don't know. You can steal money from the bank because the bank cannot find you. If you steal cash, nowadays they tell you if you want to give me bribery, you should do it in small bills of small denomination, unmarked, because this is very difficult to trace. So, but if you steal God's blessing, God knows it. So,
but she wasn't stealing.
So there is a word.
She already knew who was supposed to get the blessing.
Okay, so
in fact, if I go into her mind, she would go like this. She would say, I know who is supposed to be blessed according to God, because I've already been told. Yitzchak doesn't know because I didn't tell him. Now, if Yitzchak blesses Esau will think that he was blessed. I know Yaakov was blessed. That's the best way of getting war between the two brothers. Because one will have the so-called blessing of God, and the other one will have the real blessing of God. She is trying to make things right. She is not stealing anything.
But what does she see at the end?
In the end, it didn't work very well, did it? I mean, but
I think she knew that no matter what she does or doesn't do, there's going to be animosity, and she still made the hard choice.
Yes, but what I ask is, what was the choice?
The choice was either let things play out, and I agree with Hilda, or to intervene and say, even though I know that this is supposed to happen a certain way, that doesn't mean that I can sit back. It means that I need to take part in this.
Why?
I need to take part because there's this. We discussed this last time. Just because you know something is going to happen doesn't.
If Yaakov has to be blessed,
something is going to happen doesn't mean that you can refrain from interfering. That it might.
But Yaakov will be blessed anyway. If God wants to bless Yaakov, Yaakov will be blessed anyway.
No. We discussed this at length last time. If God wants to do something, it doesn't preclude your responsibility to interfere.
Exactly. And there is the other point. She is afraid that she's going to lose both children on the same day. That's what's actually frightening her since she was pregnant till probably the day she died. That was the fear that impregnated her. And that was what she was trying to say. I mean, at least don't let them both die. One of them will have to die, but at least not both of them. And by bringing the father, by forcing the father to stand with her besides the same son, he thought that she was going to stop if not the war, but at least the fact that both will die. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to save one. She's not going to be able to save both. And by bringing the father in by her side, which she probably wouldn't have been able to do without this cunning, she's trying to save them.
What you are doing is very good, because when I said that promise does not preclude responsibility, I meant in the human sphere. When we have God's promise, we still have to do human endeavor. Here, she interferes with God because she interferes with the blessing. She does not interfere with the question whether Lavan will overpower Yaakov or Yaakov will overpower Lavan. She interferes with God and with the blessing. This is more daring.
First of all, both of those things are things that are ordained by God. And second of all, she's not, the way Hilda puts it, is that she's not interfering with the blessing and its intendant. She's interfering with how it's going to come about.
Exactly. Because Yitzchak doesn't know about her prophecy.
So she succeeded or she failed?
I think both.
I ask you, Hilda,
why do you think she failed?
Why do you know the end of the story?
Why do you think that she failed?
Would you do it again or not?
Yes, she would do it again. I think she got the result that she wanted.
So she did not fail.
Not immediately. She only got the result that she wanted when actually Yaakov had to run away.
Fair enough.
His father stood beside Yaakov. That's when she got the result she wanted.
But the point is, she got the beginning of the process that she wanted. She set it in motion, which is yes.
Yeah. And she managed to take the two brothers and put them asunder so that they didn't have to go to war with each other. That's what she managed.
This is not what Daniel talks about.
No. I agree with Hilda. She gets both things. She gets Yaakov as the chosen son, and she prevents Yaakov and Esau from killing each other, which they were going to do as early as when they were in the womb. I think she succeeds at both of those things.
Well, my money was on Esau if they were to start fighting then, but okay.
It plays out later when Yaakov comes back. What we saw last week, I'm not so sure. This Yaakov has to defend himself from Esau on his own.
But Yaakov doesn't know about Rivka's prophecy.
And he's able to defend himself. He's able to do that. Look, Rivka only starts the process. She can't live Yaakov's life for him, and she can't craft his whole development. But she sets the process in motion.
Tell me, what was the process that Rivka started?
Rivka forces Yaakov to do something that he doesn't want to do.
What was the process that she started?
She starts the process of forcing Yaakov to take responsibility for his own destiny and for forcing Yitzchak's hand to give the main bracha to Yaakov.
So you said that the process was personal process.
Both personal and personal and metaphysical. There's a personal process in terms of Yaakov.
I would suggest that the process was not personal. The process was to prefer the indoors to the outdoors. The process was not what?
Yes, I agree. But Yaakov, that's only because she takes that koach that Yaakov has, that character that Yaakov has of the Yoshev Ohalim, of the indoor man, and she gives him the tools, both psychological and metaphysical, both the pushing him to develop personality-wise, and the metaphysical bracha. She gives Yaakov, the Yoshev Olim, the dweller of tents, the power to succeed.
וזה בדיוק ההפך ממה שיצחק רצה לעשות. יצחק רצה לעשו, האיש השדה, שמברך מבורך, הוא לא צריך לברך אותו עוד פעם בכוחות של השדה, כי הוא מבורך.
ולכן הוא מברך אותו בדגן ותירוש. Precisely. They both do the same thing.
נכון.
Both parents actually are trying to do the same thing.
אני לא בטוח.
I'm not sure that they're trying to do the same thing either. I'm not sure what Yitzhak is trying to do. I think that's...
מבחינת התהליך, הם הבינו שיש שני ילדים, רק אחד יכול להמשיך, למי מעניקים את הכוחות של מי?
Yes.
Exactly. בדיוק, לזה התכוונתי. Exactly. So both of them are trying to...
Yaakov does not get the power of hunting, never. Yaakov...
Not too bad for him.
He gets the power of fighting.
Exactly.
He gets the power to fight. He wins over the Malach.
And that's enough.
This is not... I don't know. Anyway, so very good. I'll just tell you in a second how I see it again. I see that Rivka did not influence I'll put more emphasis on it. I think that Yaakov did not, Rivka did not only influence the question of the personality who will get a blessing, she influenced the content of the blessing, what the blessing will be.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think
the blessing of
right. I think that can also be true. I think that can be true also.
But wouldn't you said that he might have changed the content of the blessing, but wouldn't this kind of blessing be good for or healthy for Esau too? I mean, you mentioned before that this is something wonderful to live in peace and to have everything you need, or produce everything you need by your own. And well, maybe this was what he wanted him to have.
So you could be, but I think that he did not. I think when he tells Esau to go out, take his sword and bring him something, and a result of that you'll bless him, I think that in modern words we'll say, Yitzhak said, I want the framing of the sword, of the bow, of the bowstring, of the string bow, and I want the arrows. I want something that when I make the blessing, what will I think? Not of seeds and wine and wheat, but I am going to think of fighting, of tools, of killing and fighting, think of tools of the outdoors. This is what will be on my mind when I bless you.
I see.
And this is what was changed when what happens is that what does Yitzhak have on his mind when he blesses Yaakov? The goodness of the field, the goodness of the wine, the goodness of the plentiful field.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. But still, I maybe you are right. Maybe it was all personal.
Well, I don't know. It's interesting too from you. It sounds very interesting.
Yes,
so,
and it all depends on. You see that came all from you mentioning, Axel, about the Ezer means that it's a tremendous influence here. If my reading has any validity, the change that Rivka worked is much deeper. It's much deeper than personal. It's essential.
Yeah.
אפשר להסתכל איך יצחק מסכם את התהליך. יצחק אומר לעשו, בא אחיך במרמה, ויקח את ברכתך, את הברכה שאני ייעדתי לך, לעשו, גם ברוך יהיה. כלומר, אני טעיתי. יצחק מודה פה שהוא טעה בתהליך.
זה לא הפסוק. רולי, אתה שם? אתה יכול להוריד את זהו קצת? לא, עוד. עד הצעקות.
הברוך יהיה זה לפני כן.
אני חיברתי שני פסוקים.
כן, הברוך יהיה עוד לפני שהוא ידע.
לא, זהו, נכון, פסוק למד ג'.
גם ברוך יהיה.
It was before that.
נכון, זה פשוט...
וברכהו גם ברוך יהיה. Yes, exactly.
ואחר כך, שתי פסוקים אחר כך אומר, בא אחיך במרמה ויקח ברכתך.
Right.
אני מסכים עם התהליך שעשיתי. מה התהליך? שאת הברכה שהיעדתי לך נתתי לאח שלך. כלומר, מה המשמעות? הייתי.
כן, אבל, נכון, אבל it doesn't have to be that he took the blessing that I intended to give to you, could be that to you I intended a different blessing. But the blessing means the concept of blessing. He took your blessing that you should have been blessed, and now he is blessed.
But unless you say that whatever Rivka was giving him was some sort of a magical food, and that's why he was thinking about the home instead of the outside, it doesn't work with the verses, because when Yitzchak says, now he already knows that someone has conned him, and he still says, I ate game. I spoke with them when in my mind I was eating game. So whatever Rivka was preparing, Yitzchak was eating game. So I don't think that actually if you eat something, you get into a special mood of that food and you become homebound or something. And I still go back to the idea that he wanted Esau to do what Esau was good at and to bring it to him and to make him happy. That was the general idea. That's why he told him to go out and get medicine. Of course, what would he tell him to do? Go and get some, I don't know, izim? He is not going there. It would be very funny to ask Esau to do that. It would be actually a way of telling him, I don't like what you're doing. Go and do something else. He can't do that. Not if he likes him, and he does. He loves him. The Torah tells us that he loves him.
Very interesting. And okay, he could do nothing. But I just want to one remark about the magic food. I think that everyone should know that food has magic. Every food has magic in it. And the second thing is, we know by many animals that once they attack people, they change. You have to kill them. Dogs and this, once they bite a person, you have to change them. They call it the tasted blood. It's an old thing. So I don't know. Maybe food is magic. You cooked for Shabbat already?
No, that's what I meant to say. So I'm going to do some magic now. I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. תודה רבה.
תודה רבה.
Okay.
I'm going to sign off too.
Okay, close the recording.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Recording stopped?
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah,
I'll stop the recording.